Against the backdrop of today's evolving global landscape,
Definitely cannot be like previously unilateral governance of one big country. Multipolarity is obvious on the scene, and it will develop.
he calls on Europe to move beyond its so-called concerns about China.
China is an excellent partner. I think that it's very important that get away fear on China.
And commends the 4 global initiatives proposed by President Xi Jinping.
I'm sure that it will influence. Those initiatives will influence.
Leaders Talk sits down with former Croatian President Ivo Josipović. Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to Leaders Talk, where we meet leaders, thinkers, and trailblazers. I'm So Yun. Joining us today is Ivo Josipović, former president of Croatia, a frequent visitor to China. What unique insights does he have on Oriental civilization and Chinese culture? In his eyes, what extraordinary journey has China modernization traversed, and what expectations does he have for the future of China-Europe relations? Stay with us as we explore these questions and more in today's conversation. Mr. Josipović, thank you for joining us on Leaders Talk today. We know that your first visit to China was in 1990s. Over 30 years ago, and you have come back since then for more than 20 times. So at the start of a conversation, can you share us a little bit about how does this first visit compare to the most recent ones? What are the biggest changes that you've seen in this country throughout this process?
My first visit was to Beijing to one lawyers' conference. Comparing that time China and today's China is not easy because the development of China is incredible. I remember Beijing then and Beijing today. It's so big difference, and it's a good illustration of how China is doing excellent job developing itself.
And you've said before that the country has every reason to be proud of its achievements.
Definitely.
Which part of the achievements that impressed you the most?
Oh, it's not easy to answer. There are many areas. So let's start with something that I really love. It's culture. You have excellent, very old culture. I saw new big concert halls. I saw exhibitions, modern museums, excellent singers as well. But also, of course, technique.
Yes.
It's incredible. Artificial intelligence, cars, TVs, all kind of equipment. It's really tremendous. And also cities. Now they are very modern, clean, and technically very equipped. Many of them, of course. It's very visible that standard of people is improved during those years. And I think China should be really proud of it. I'm coming back to policy of opening of China, and definitely China can be equal, not only equal, but in some cases dominant partner in economic affairs all around the world.
Croatia is located in south-central Europe in the northwestern part of the Balkan Peninsula. It shares borders with several countries, including Slovenia and Hungary, and has a coastline along the Adriatic Sea. China was among the first countries to establish diplomatic relations with Croatia. In recent years, bilateral ties have shown strong momentum. Landmark projects such as the Pelješac Bridge and the Senja Wind Power Project highlight the high-quality outcomes of Belt and Road cooperation. Ivo Josipović served as president of Croatia from 2010 to 2015. A longtime professor of law, he is also a distinguished composer.
Let's talk a little bit about China-Croatia bilateral relation, because China was among the first countries to establish bilateral relation with Croatia back in 1992. And in 2005, the two countries agreed to a comprehensive cooperative partnership. Next year marks the 35th anniversary of diplomatic relations between our two countries. How do you assess the overall trajectory of China-Croatia bilateral relations?
First, I have to say that our relations are really very, very good. So no any disputes, political disputes or whatever disputes. It's very good for both countries, in spite of the fact that China is a huge country, Croatia is a relatively small country, but they are cooperating very good. More and more. Croatia is participating in One Belt, One Road initiative. That's very important. Now, a few years ago, one of Chinese companies built our most important bridge near Dubrovnik, connected to divided parts of our country. Yes,
Bridge.
Bridge, yes. And there are some more projects. I think our economic relation will develop further.
Talking about the Belt and Road Initiative, as you just touched upon, and you once said that this initiative is, quote unquote, a good track of cooperation. How do you interpret the significance of this bridge to the development of your country, especially given that it's a project of such a large scale by a Chinese company in your country?
So for Croatia, it's very important economically and politically, and for Chinese companies as well, because it's proven that Chinese company can make good job in very short terms and also of high quality. So I think it is some kind of model for future projects. I also want to stress that One Belt, One Road is not only economical project.
That's right.
It's also a project of cultural cooperation. It's visible in Croatia as well. I'm included in one project. Now we are producing one CD of Croatian and Chinese music, and the title is Belt and Road Music.
Wow, that's such a beautiful demonstration of the culture and also the people-to-people exchanges under this framework. And you've met with Chinese President Xi Jinping a couple of times. One of them is in 2019 and also in some other occasions as well. What do you recall most vividly from these meetings with President Xi?
Firstly, I met President Xi when he was vice president. He was my host when I visited officially China. And then I had the opportunity to meet him several times with my colleagues, some of former presidents. We visited Beijing, and we had the opportunity to listen from the most the most competent person about plans of China and values developing here through political and economical life in China. It was really impressive because some of facts are not widely known in the West. So I think it's very important that we learned about social politics. That means there are many new projects, new employment, new working places, and definitely that is the reason China is so successful in the world market. So my impression was very nice, very good, and I learned a lot.
What is your impression of President Xi as a leader, and which part of his governance philosophy resonate with you the most?
He's obviously a great leader, a successful leader. What I appreciate, China generally, and President Xi is treating equally all presidents and all countries, and it's very important because it's somehow showing that China seriously understands the principle of sovereign equality of states.
Each day, there are millions of stories. Each one can open new perspectives, new possibilities. Wherever you look, we are there to see, discover, explore. We put the pieces together to find what really matters to you, all around the world, all around the clock. Our reporters are at home across the globe. From our headquarters in Beijing and production centers in Washington, Nairobi, and London. Stories from across the globe, reaching people across the globe. CGTN. See the difference. Images may appear to be identical, but looks can be deceiving. The difference is not always obvious. It has to be discovered. always different sides to a story. We put the focus on the details. To see more, to understand better. CGTN. See the difference.
The year 2026 marks the start of China's 15th five-year plan. Amid rising global economic fragmentation and protectionism, China has reaffirmed its commitment to advancing reform and development through opening up. It also advocates for a more equal and orderly multipolar world, along with an inclusive and broadly beneficial model of economic globalization, an approach that has attracted widespread international attention. Since the beginning of this year, leaders from countries such as Ireland, Finland, the United Kingdom, Germany, and Spain have visited China in succession. This renewed Look East momentum reflects a shared desire among nations for stability, development, and stronger cooperation amid global uncertainty.
And this year actually is pivotal for China because it marks the beginning of the country's 15th five-year plan running from 2026 to 2030. So within this new development phase, what are some of the new opportunities do you foresee for China-Croatia cooperation?
Oh, it's a very ambitious project, definitely. It demonstrates a continuation of policy of opening. That's very important. And of course, that's a possibility for Croatia to be included in more and more in One Belt, One Road project or some other projects with China. And what's very important, I always stress it, Chinese projects, international projects, are always based on win-win principle.
That's right.
That's very important because some other big countries do not follow that type of principle. And of course, that makes China a more attractive partner than possibly some others.
What about more broadly to the China-EU collaboration? What new impetus do you think this adoption of the new development blueprint will generate for this?
So it's great opportunity. It's great opportunity for China, but also for European Union, for European countries. And I think that it's very important that get away fear on China, because there are some politicians that are afraid that China will, I don't know, cover everything. No, China is an excellent partner. That's very important. And also its continuation of opening of China, that's also very important for China primarily, but also important for the others as well.
The kind of fear that you just mentioned, that belongs to actually a certain part of the politicians in the United States or in Europe. Why do you think is important to understand China's development in an objective manner?
That's very important. One part of politics, politicians are afraid that excellent position of China and good products from China can make damage to European economy. But if all rules are followed, I think the result will be positive for both sides, for Europe and for China. Because there are some areas in which China is better and the other when European Union is better. So we can take advantage of both sides and make a much better partnership than today.
Let's talk about the development in your country. Croatia joined the European Union in 2013 during your presidency. So has EU evolved into a bloc that you have anticipated at that time?
So it was one of our strategic goals to be member of European Union, and I'm very happy that it really happened during my mandate. Of course, we can always discuss what is good and what is bad side, but I think that it's unproportionally good effects. There are unproportionally good effects to our membership.
And now the post-war international order, Mr. Josipović, I don't know, maybe you agree with me or not, is under strain. And one reason is the policies adopted by certain countries.
One country.
Okay, so as a European statesman, also a legal expert, how serious is disruptions to you?
Obviously now we are on the border. The old international system is failed now. It's destroyed by policy of President Trump. And from the other side, now we have to search new methods how to govern the global world. So what's very important is to keep role of United Nations. For me, that's very important. Secondly, we have to insist on existing international law. Because now more and more, not only US, but some other states are breaching international law. It's not breaking international law. It's not good for international order. Definitely, no one can predict what will really happen. The worst scenario will be the Third World War. That's the worst scenario. I hope it will not happen. But the other solutions have to be found, either to impose the role of United Nations with some changements, or to invent something else. I don't know, I'm not so clever to tell you what it should be now, but definitely it cannot be like previously unilateral governance of one big country. Multipolarity is obvious on the scene and it will develop. I hope that European Union will be entity capable to participate in this multipolarity. But for some other countries it will be really problem, and I think the clear chance for them is philosophy of international law, to be that relation between countries should be strictly driven by international law. And so multipolarity, international organizations and international law were always some kind of shield for smaller countries.
How do you assess the role of China in addressing global challenges like this, from regional instability or regional conflicts to economic instability?
Firstly, I really appreciate foreign policy of People's Republic of China, because it's peaceful. That's the most important thing. So China is not involved in wars all around, not initiating military coups here or there, and that makes Chinese position as a very good international community. So probably that is the reason this initiative by President Xi were very, very occupying all this media and the interest of wide auditorium. Secondly, China is more and more opening. That's of course interesting. It's of interest for economy, but also for politics, for peace all around the world. And I hope and I support this type of peaceful policy. And I think that it will be very good that some other states also have this type of politics, not to interfere in wars or not to cause wars all around the world.
You're watching breaking news on CGTN.
You're watching CGTN with the latest market-moving headlines from around the world.
Welcome to the world today on CGTN.
how do you understand the significance of these initiatives, as you just mentioned, the initiative proposed by President Xi, the Global Development Initiative, Global Security Initiative, Global Civilization Initiative, as well as the Global Governance Initiative. How do you see the role of these initiatives in promoting peace and prosperity globally?
Definitely, I see those initiatives as some kind of continuation of politics in China, and not only in China, connected to United Nations existence and United Nations role in unfortunately previous international global order. And also it's focused to the peace and development. That's very important. All of them are programmatic. That means it's attempt to influence states and politicians all around the world to switch activities more to cooperation, development, especially from climate changes to peace efforts. That means it's a huge scale of proposals, and that's very good. I'm sure that it will influence. Those initiatives will influence, and China is patient state. If China continues to promote this, not only these proposals by President Xi, but also some other activities, peaceful activities and politics in the world, it will influence a lot the global situation.
Mr. Josipović, we know that you not only belong to the world of politics, you also straddle the world of music as well. So having composed about 70 chamber music pieces.
Not chamber music.
Just music pieces.
Music piece, from opera to chamber music. Orchestra and opera as well. I had also opportunity because Shanghai Symphony Orchestra.
I know you worked with them once.
Yeah, they played one of my pieces, and I was very, very happy with that.
When you were young, you were even a football player.
Okay, probably it's exaggerating to say that I was a big football player, but I had some talent.
Right.
And then I was invited to one club, Croatian club, to show what can I do, and they said, you are accepted. But what happened? Next day I had to go to the football club to train, and in the same period I had lessons in music school, and I decided to go to music school.
You still just follow your heart.
Yeah.
How do you manage to do so many things in such, extraordinary, and achieve such extraordinary level for each and every of those professionalism? Hard work,
yeah.
Not only talent.
Of course, some talent should be if you are going to be artist or a politician or whatever. But without hard work, nothing will happen.
Mr. Josipović, well, the popularity of Croatia has really been surging among Chinese travelers for its music, its football, and also some of the TV series, and also tourism. I've been there once, it's beautiful. So if you get this chance to recommend some of the elements in your country to our Chinese viewers.
Firstly, it's necessary, I think, for every tourist to see some natural beauties. Natural beauties, especially the coast, our beautiful islands, and also not only islands, but also not only coast, but also in the country we have spots like Plitvička jezera, Plitvica lakes. You saw it.
I've been there. Yes, the national park. Yes,
it's national park. It's not the only. There is national park Krka. It's not so far away, and also we have beauties on the north in Slavonia as well. And also we have excellent food. Excellent food. I have to say that culture of eating is very different here and in Croatia. It's very different, but it's a beauty to recognize something else, not what you have at home. When I'm in some foreign country, I always order something that's local specialty.
For instance, here in China.
In China, I enjoy.
Like what's your favorite cuisine here in China?
Oh, there are many cuisines in China, but one food I admire, it's noodles.
Like chicken soup noodles or beef, roast?
You put different ingredients
and
inside.
Something on the top?
Yes.
Which part of the Chinese culture that you feel most interested or sophisticated?
Of course.
Or most fascinating to you?
No, I will focus on music. Of course, calligraphy. It's something that I admire. I have some calligraphies at my home.
Oh, really?
And music, I will not refer to classical music, European style. It's okay, I enjoy it. I listen orchestras in Beijing, in Shanghai, but I enjoy traditional orchestra, Chinese instruments. And especially these Chinese orchestras are interesting for me playing contemporary music.
That's right.
Not just folk.
They have now kind of a fusion form of ancient musical instrument playing.
It's very interesting because it's completely different sound, which I like very much. We have also folk orchestras, but in principle they don't play. Let's say avant-garde music or whatever. And in China, it happens. It happens, and they're excellent musicians. Yeah. That's right. So I enjoy this type of music.
Okay, Mr. Josipović, thank you so much for your time and for sharing this your very insightful view today. Greatly appreciated.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
During the interview, Ivo Josipović shares his love for philosophy and culture, saying the Chinese value of harmony truly resonates with him. He believes the Belt and Road Initiative has not only advanced infrastructure development, but also fostered cultural exchanges and people-to-people connection. Against the current international backdrop, China steadfastly upholds multilateralism, making significant contributions to global peace and prosperity. With that, we're going to wrap up this edition of Leaders Talk. I'm So Yun reporting from Changsha. Thank you for watching and see you next time.